What's going on, guys? We're back with another episode of Nolan's Pod. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Mine was certainly great. Watched some baseball, watched some basketball, just a little bit of football on, watched the race. So it was a lot going on this weekend, and a lot of good sports on this weekend. But today specifically, we're gonna be talking about baseball. Baseball just opened their season this past week, this past Thursday. Um, and it was a great week. First, we're gonna start with the Braves. I'm gonna talk about the Braves on this podcast, so you're gonna hear a lot about the Braves. If you haven't watched a few of my other podcasts, you're gonna know that I mentioned I'm gonna be talking about the Braves in this podcast. And if you don't like it, and you don't like the Braves, obviously you don't have to watch. But if you do like the Braves, I would encourage you to watch because it's gonna be a lot of information that I'm gonna give out on the Braves this year. So, of course, if you watch baseball and if you're a huge Braves fan, that we started out against the Phillies. We played against the team that we lost against in the playoffs the last 2 years, and it was nice to go to Philly to get revenge on our rivals, of course. When somebody kicks you out the playoffs, you want to get them back. So, having played the Phillies opening day and the opening weekend, that was huge for us. I didn't expect us to come out and swing the bats well like we did in game one of the opening day. Guys, the nerves are running, the juices are flowing, everybody's nervous, everybody's trying to get back into the swing of things, and we came out and we swung the bats well than what I thought we were going to do. So I give us a lot of credit for that. The pitching matchup was aces, two aces, Zach Wheeler for the Phillies and Spencer Strider for the Braves. You kind of got what you expected from those two. The Phillies bullpen imploded in the 7th inning. So let's get right into it. Game 1 of the series, Brandon Marsh hits a 2-run homer in the 5th inning off of Spencer Strider. Obviously, Strider missed his location on the pitch that he thrown, and Brandon Marsh hit it to left center field for a 2-run homer. That was in the 5th inning. At that point, it was 2-0. And I was watching it and I was like, oh, Lord, here we go. We ain't doing nothing. And it's in the 5th inning. And here we go. It's nerve-wracking time, but, with the kind of offense that the Braves have, you know that the Braves are never out of a game. And it was just 2-0. And like I just said, with the kind of offense, the historic offense that we had last year, it's going to come back this year, and lo and behold, it came back, and they woke up. In the 7th inning, Michael Harris hits a single. Sean Murphy comes up, he strikes out. Orlando Arcia hits a double. Next thing you know, it's 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. We know about the situation that Alex Anthopoulos, GM and Snit, said about platooning Jared Kelenic and Adam Duvall. Runners 2nd and 3rd. Jared Kelenic coming up against a lefty, and Snit pitch hits him for Adam Duvall. Next thing you know, Adam Duvall hits a 2-run double down the left field line that just stayed fair. Next thing you know, it's 2-2. We getting hyped up. We getting pumped up. Let's go. That's right. That's what we do. 2-2 game. We go to the 8th inning. Matt Olson hits a double. Marcell Ozuna advances him to 3rd on the sacrifice fly. Next thing you know, Michael Harris again, Money Mike, hits a single over the Phillies infield, and it's 3-2. Next thing you know, Ronald Acuna Jr. hits a single, and it's 4-2. Travis d'Arnaud scores on a wild pitch, it's 5-2. Austin Riley walks with the bases loaded, it's 6-2. Matt Olson clears the bases on a 3-run double with the bases loaded. Next thing you know, it's 9-2. This is all in the 8th inning. Going into the 8th inning, it was a 2-2 game. Heading out of the top of the 8th inning, it was 9-2. Ronald Acuna Jr., Mr. MVP, had 2 hits in that game. He stole a base. Riley had that RBI walk. As I mentioned, Matt Olson had that bases clearing 3-run double, and he also had 3 doubles total within that one game. on his birthday. So that was a great birthday for Matt Olson. Money Mike had 3 singles. One of them was RBI single, and he had 3 hits to go along with that. Orlando Arcia had 3 hits, 2 doubles, and a single. JK, Jared Kelnick, had a hit. Spencer Strider pitched 5 innings. He only allowed 3 hits, only had 2 walks, and only allowed 2 runs. Spencer Strider's only mistake was that 2-run homer to left center fielder Brandon Marsh. Other than that, Spencer Strider was phenomenal, as we expect him to be. He just ran into some trouble in that 5th inning, but he was phenomenal. He has that fastball, he has that slider, but this offseason he also developed that third pitch in that curveball. So he had some of the Phillies hitters like JT Realmuto fooled on some of those curveballs that he threw. So all in all, a great game. Our bullpen came in. Joe Jimenez, Pierce Johnson, AJ Minter, and Aaron Bummer, and they did a phenomenal job of holding the Phillies to just 1 run. Yep. Aaron Bummer allowed that other run, but that was about it. That was, man, the score ended up being 9-3. So I'm surprised that we swung the bats that well, but man, we came out and we did what we needed to do. Game 1 of the series, got an opening day win. It was a good Friday, and obviously it was a good Friday because we won. So I would say myself, that was a good Friday. The Phillies only had 5 hits in that game. 2 of them was from Alec Bohm. 1 of them was from Bryson Stott. The other one was from Nick Castellanos, and obviously Brandon Marsh's hit was the homer. Zach Wheeler pitched really well. He pitched 6 innings. Didn't allow no runs, didn't walk any of the guys. And Zach Wheeler also struck out 5 guys. It wasn't until they took Zach Wheeler out and the Phillies bullpen imploded. Other than that, Zach Wheeler was the Phillies ace, as he always is. He got the nod over Aaron Nolan for the start. So just bad luck for him and good luck for us. Let's transition into Game 2. Game 2 was rocky. It was rocky to start off. Ozzie Albies kicks us off with a 2-run homer in the top of the 1st inning. It's 2-0 Atlanta. Next thing you know, we're going to the bottom of the 1st inning feeling good about ourselves. Max Fried's pitching this game. He's going against Aaron Nola. And next thing you know, in the bottom of the 1st inning, Max Fried allows a single to Kyle Schwarber. He walks Bryce Harper. He also walks JT Realmuto. So the bases are loaded with no outs in the bottom of the 1st inning. Nick Castellanos walks. It's 2-1. Bases loaded walk. Next thing you know, it's a 2-run single from Bryson Stott. Next thing you know, we're down 3-2. It was a missed call in that bottom of the 1st inning. It was a missed call. It was supposed to be a strike 3. We out of the 1st inning. They missed the call. It would have been 2-0. And we would have been out of the 1st inning, but they missed the call, and it screwed us over. And the Phillies ended up taking the lead off that missed call. I think it was to Nick Castellanos. Yeah, it was to Nick Castellanos. He was struck out, and the umpire missed the call. He did not call strike 3. If you look at the pitch, it was right at the top of the zone, right there at the top of the zone. But it was in the zone. That was supposed to be strike 3. Crucial missed call. Max Fried did not make it out the 1st inning. Snit came out and took him out in the 1st inning. He didn't even make it out of the 1st inning. So we called on old reliable Jesse Chavez to pitch. And he pitched phenomenal. He pitched 3 innings. And he only allowed 1 run. And that was the JT Realmuto homer. Jesse Chavez came in and does what he always does. We need him to come in early in the game because our starting pitcher is struggling. He comes in and he does what he does. He does what he does. And he did it. So thank God for Jesse Chavez and thank God for us signing him. After Jesse Chavez, Tyler Maxey came in, did his thing. Pierce Johnson did his thing. Dylan Lee came in, did his thing. And Raisel Iglesias closed it out for us. Heading into that 2nd inning, Michael Harris walks. Orlando Arcia doubles. So it's 2nd and 3rd, no outs. Orlando Arcia and Money Mike both score on a Travis d'Arnaud 2-run double. It's 4-3. Next thing you know, Jared Kelnick singles. It's 5-3. Transitioning to the 3rd inning, Matt Olson homers. It's 6-3. Money Mike hits a double, and J.K. drives him in. It's 7-3. And then, as I mentioned, it ended up being 7-4 because JT Realmuto homered off of Jesse Chavez. Going to the 6th inning, Ozzie Albies singles, and he scores Jared Kelenic. It's 8-4. In that same inning, Marcell Ozuna comes up. He hits a 3-run homer. It's 11-4. So we just always, game 1 and game 2, we did the same thing. We just kept pulling away. The final score ended up being 12-4. Ronald Acuna Jr. had 3 hits. Ozzie Albies had 3 hits. Austin Riley had 1 hit. Matt Olson had 1 hit on the RBI. Marcel's 1 hit was that 3-run homer I just mentioned. Money Mike had 3 hits. Travis d'Arnaud had 1 hit. Jared Kelenic had 3 hits, and he also made a spectacular diving catch of robbing Bryce Harper, so that was incredible itself. Y'all cried about Jared Kelenic and how he struggled in spring training, and it's just spring training. Calm down. There was nothing to cry about. He had 3 hits in game 2, and he had a hit in game 1, so that's 4 hits in 2 games for JK. And y'all cried about how he struggled in spring training. Spring training's nothing. Just calm down. It wasn't nothing to cry about. He got 4 hits in the past 2 games. Y'all don't have to cry. He's okay. He's all right. Just calm down. It's a long season. I mean, golly, y'all. He's fine. Look what he just did the past 2 games. Y'all overreact to the little things that y'all don't even have to overreact to. Yep, and that was game 2. So, we took the series from the Phillies. Obviously, that's pretty good. Like I said, when the team has kicked you out of the postseason twice in 2 years in a row, and you get them for the opening series, you want to beat them up and smack them around, and that's exactly what we did. The unfortunate part of that news is we lost game 3. Ozzie always started out game 3 with another 2-run homer in the first inning, so Ozzie is red hot to start the season. And then in the bottom of the first inning, Chris Sale, he's making his Braves debut. He allowed a leadoff homer to Kyle Schwarber. It was 2-1 at that point. We got a I'll take that back. Yeah. So the final score ended up being 5-4. It was in the bottom of the 7th. We had an ending double play. We were out of the inning. The Phillies challenged the call, and they end up calling the runner at first base safe. The call on the field was out. They overturned the call and called him safe. When you look at the replay, the runner was clearly out, and that was the call on the field, but they reversed the call after they challenged it and called him safe. Aaron Bummer ended up allowing 3 runs in that 7th inning, and we end up losing our lead. Obviously, that ticked me off a whole lot because the whole point of replay is getting the call right. And if you look at replay and you challenging the call, when you look at this, we have replay to get things right, not to get things wrong. The call on the field that was originally, that was the right call. Y'all go to challenge and y'all call the wrong thing. What's the point of having replay if we ain't going to get the call right? Obviously, we could have had these guys swept if y'all just get the call right. So that's what I'm saying. That's another thing that just gets on my nerves. In game 2, Max Fried would have been out of the first inning. If y'all called strike 3, it would have been 2-0. Game 3, if y'all would have left the call on the field after the Phillies challenge how it was, we would have been out of the 7th inning with the lead. But instead, y'all always have to screw us over and screw something up. So the final score to that game was 5-4. We ended up cutting the lead to 1 with the RBI single from, I think, Admiral Duval, RBI single at the top of the 8th inning. We ended up cutting the lead 4-5, but obviously it was not enough. And the Phillies did end up winning that game, and they got a game in that series. They avoided the sweep. All in all, it was a great weekend. The only unfortunate thing for us, Sean Murphy has gone on the injured list with a strained oblique after he took a swing, and you could see that something was going on with Sean Murphy's oblique. But it's a grade 1 oblique strain. So a grade 1 oblique strain, that's not bad. It could have been a lot worse. That's not bad. So, we have Travis d'Arnaud who's really an everyday catcher, but because we got Sean Murphy, they switch back and forth. And we just called up Chadwick Trump, who had a great spring training, and he played yesterday and lost. He played yesterday and he played pretty good. So we're gonna let Sean Murphy heal, let him get his rest, and we know he's gonna be back. So that's bad news, but it's also good news because it's a grade 1 oblique strain, but he's gonna be all right. So we'll be playing the White Sox today in about 2 hours from now. It doesn't look like we're going to be playing much baseball in Chicago, in the Windy City. Obviously, the weather is terrible there. I've seen that they were saying it's supposed to be rain today, which is Monday. So a lot of rain, possible thunder. Tomorrow night we play. It's our first night game of the season. It's supposed to be the same thing, rain, thunder, and it's supposed to be really, really cold. So obviously, the rain and the cold do not mix well, obviously. And then you're up north, so that sucks too. And then Wednesday, it's supposed to be a mixture of rain and snow, so that don't mix together. So, us playing today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, it does not seem like we're gonna get any game in because the weather's so horrible up there in Chicago. So, we'll see. And if we do get a couple of games played or one game played, I will have that for you guys. But other than that, a great start to the season, and I'm very proud of how those guys played this past weekend. I didn't expect them to play that well, but man, they surprised me. And I know I shouldn't be surprised being that I'm a huge fan. I should not be surprised, but those boys, they got after it like they always do, and they surprised me. I mean, if we do get these 3 games in with the White Sox, we should sweep the White Sox. They just lost against Detroit. The Tigers swept the White Sox out of the building, so that's what we'll be hoping to do also. So, hats off to Detroit. They got out to a 3-0. They got out to a 3-0 start for the first time since 2016. I think that was the last time they made the playoffs. So, shout out to Detroit and AJ Hinch and those guys. Hopefully they have a good season too, just like us. We got some Detroit fans on the podcast and Mama and everything. So, shout out to y'all. No question about it. That's all I have for you guys today. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about the Braves taking the series from the Phillies. And let me know if you think that Detroit's 3-0 start. Let me know if you think that that's a promising start for them and how they're going to finish out the season. With that, that's it.